Hey everyone, I am back with some new healthy dinner recipes. These are going to be high in protein, high in healthy fiber, super satisfying. I think you're going to love them. So we are starting off with my lentil pasta with bacon and greens. And I'm starting by making the dressing that's going to go at the end. So I'm starting with some olive oil. It's about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, maybe just slightly less, maybe like 3 tablespoons, and some lemon zest. I zested, I'm pretty sure it was about the entire lemon that I zested because I like a lot of lemon, but if you have a really big lemon, maybe it's just half of the lemon. So make sure you get all of that zest off of there and into the oil. And I like to let that sit on the side while I prepare the rest of the meal. So now you're going to cook your bacon. You can cook your bacon however you like to. Some people like to do it in the oven, some people in the microwave. I just go for it in the skillet. And I cooked about 4 pieces for pasta for 2, so like 2 slices per person. And that is what worked for us. And then I put it on a paper towel. I just like to let some of that bacon grease kind of absorb. And this is the pasta that I used. It's a lentil pasta. You can use your favorite kind of pasta. I like the lentil pasta. It's made from lentil flour. It's higher in fiber, higher in protein. Definitely still a carbohydrate. It's gonna give you energy, but I feel like it just is more satisfying. And I think it tastes amazing. I cook it for Jack. He doesn't seem to notice that it's any kind of different pasta other than pasta. So then I've got some diced onion, about 1/2 of a regular sized onion, along with some garlic, going back into that same pan that I used to cook the bacon. And the nice thing about that was there's already a little bit of bacon grease in there, so you don't have to add any extra oil. Just cook that down until the onions are translucent and they've got a little bits of brown on the edge that gives them such a really good flavor. And then your pasta would have been cooking, at the same time. So as soon as the pasta's done, the onions will be about done. You can just add your pasta directly on top of the onions. And then I added about 1/3 of a cup of frozen peas. I just like to add frozen peas to different sauteed dishes. I always have them in the freezer, just add some color, more texture. Then I added some nutritional yeast seasoning, probably 2 tablespoons worth, I would say. This just helps stick to the pasta and helps the sauce that you add then stick to the pasta even better. And it's just this nice, salty, cheesy flavor. It's a good replacement for Parmesan cheese. You could also use Parmesan cheese. Then I added some baby arugula. I like to use arugula in place of baby spinach when I can. It's a cruciferous vegetable, just different profile of nutrition, and it's fun to kind of switch up your greens. But you could use any kind of greens that easily wilt, just throw them in there. And then with the pan on low heat or turned off, go ahead and add your lemon olive oil. Just stir it up so the pasta's nice and coated. And I sliced up my bacon after it was cooled and added that back in to the pasta and then just stirred it up. And this is what it looks like. The noodles are glossy and salty and lemony, and then you get that hit of that salty, sweet bacon and the peas. Oh, I think this is such a good, friendly, for kids recipe. Now we're on to my teriyaki cod with cauliflower fried rice, if I can talk. And I'm starting by making my own teriyaki sauce. It's super easy. You just need 1/4 of a cup of gluten-free tamari sauce or whatever kind of soy sauce you like, some water and some chopped garlic and some minced fresh ginger. So it's just 4 quick ingredients that are going to go into that small non-stick saute pan, or you can use a saucepan. That's just going to go over the heat until it's simmering. And then while that's happening, you're going to add a tablespoon of arrowroot powder, which is a substitute for cornstarch. So if you have cornstarch, you could use that too. I like arrowroot powder. Add that to some water and make a slurry. And that is going to be what thickens this teriyaki sauce. So once it's simmering, pull it off the heat, add your slurry, and then whisk it in. And then you're going to take that back onto the stove once you've added a little bit of sweetener. I think most teriyaki sauces are too sweet, so I only add about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. That's like the perfect sweetness for me. And you add it back to the stove and just whisk every once in a while over, medium heat, not boiling, until it's nice and thick like this. Then you're gonna take some frozen cod. I like to cook my fish straight from the freezer if I've gotten it frozen, don't need to thaw it. Makes it super easy. I put it on some parchment and some foil. That's gonna go in the oven, and while that happens, I'm going to chop up my onion and some eggplant and some peppers. That's just the veggies that I had on hand, but you can throw in any type of vegetables that you like in a fried rice recipe. And then because it's fried rice, we have to have a fried egg in it. So I whisked up an egg, just added that to my pan, just scrambled it really like roughly and quickly in the pan. And then once it was scrambled, just took it off and set it aside. Then I added my vegetables. I'm pretty sure I used a little bit of avocado oil in the pan. That's usually what I like to use for some type of saute. It's a nice high heat oil. Just added a little bit of salt to the veggies and some red pepper flakes because I like fried rice to have a little kick to it, and some pepper. Just stir that around. You're gonna cook it until the veggies are nice and tender and have little brown spots. And then I added the cauliflower rice, and I just buy it frozen, and I added probably a good teaspoon's worth of minced garlic. You're just gonna let the heat from the pan cook and thaw the cauliflower fried rice and get it nice and warm. And then at this point, you would pull out your cod from the oven. It was in there for 10 minutes. So once you pull it out after 10 minutes, you're gonna add the teriyaki sauce to the cod. This way, the cod is nice and thawed at this point. It's no longer completely frozen, so the sauce will actually stick to it. And then you put it back in the oven for another 8 to 10 minutes or until it's cooked. And then at this point, you can add some of your gluten-free tamari or soy sauce or coconut aminos, whatever you're using, to the veggies. You can add your egg back in, and now you've got your cauliflower rice ready to go. And I just added the cauliflower fried rice to a plate, and I like to top it with the cod at the end, and you could drizzle on more of that teriyaki sauce, just like kind of bring it all together. I topped mine with some sesame seeds and some minced chives. Lastly, we're making my crispy baked barbecue chicken wings, and the secret to getting them crispy in the oven is using this grate that goes on top of your baking sheet. So I think this is actually like a cooling rack that I have, but I put it on top of my baking sheet, and that way the air can circulate around the entire chicken wing and it's not sitting directly on the pan. So you do want to make sure to have the skin totally dry. That's why I blotted it with paper towel. Season both sides with salt and pepper. You don't have to add any oil. Add it to the oven, and then when you pull it out of the oven, it is going to be so crispy and delicious, and the skin is going to have this nice brown color to it. This is the barbecue sauce that I used from Primal Kitchen. I like it because it's one kind of barbecue sauce I can find that isn't already sweetened. So you're just gonna add your cooked chicken wings into a bowl and add your barbecue sauce, your favorite barbecue sauce, and just stir it up. It is so delicious. It smells amazing. I just paired it that night with some sauteed green beans, really simple, salt and pepper, and some corn on the cob because it's summer, it's August here in Ohio, and you gotta have corn on the cob while you can. So these were 3 really healthy dinner recipes that we've been making on repeat. I hope you guys enjoy. Tell me what your favorite is down below in the comments, and I'll see you soon for another one. Bye!